Welcome to a milk market tidbit for the February milk production report that USDA released this afternoon. This is Dr. Lawrence Jones, and I'm recording this on March 20th. Now, probably need to preface the fact that February is a leap year, so that's going to create a little bit of chaos for analyzing different reports, but I will tell you that everything that I do is always put back on a daily basis, so it doesn't matter how many days are in a month, my program automatically takes it back to a per day basis, which gets rid of that ambiguity. So we get the milk production report as one of the first reports that we get in a month. It's followed up by the cold storage report and then the dairy products report. What the milk production report gives us are cow numbers, and this is kind of where some of the first confusion is going to come in. USDA actually lowered the numbers for January. It was 9.325. They lowered it to 9.320. But as a result of that, they say we added 10,000 cows between January and February, which was a little bit of a surprise. Now I want you to keep in mind, a year ago we were 9.42. So we've dropped off nearly 100,000 cows in the last 12 months. Now, thinking about that, this is the current slaughter data, and it's accurate as of the 2nd of March, which is the latest data that we have. We'll get more tomorrow. And I've started putting this into a slightly different format. So here in the graph, it's just the raw numbers. So we were, 59,826. We're hanging right in this 60,000 number. But what I started doing is a rolling kind of number. So for the last 12 months, we've called 57,431 animals a week. But the previous 12 months, we called 59,000. So we're about, let's call it 1,600 animals a week less than we were a year ago. So if we take that 1,589 and multiply it by 52 weeks, it says that we have actually called almost 83,000 cows less than we did a year ago. So let's think about that. From here to here, we called 89,000 fewer cows than we did from here to here. Does that make sense? And again, the only explanation would be that we've got a significant shortage of heifers. But I just continue to keep calling these cow numbers into question relative to our slaughter numbers. And I started putting the actual call rate on a rolling number because I think this also tells us an interesting story. If we go back and look, this was a period of expansion when we were calling, very slow. Then we had a period of contraction. But now we're clear down here again, and we're still basically contracting. And so that's the piece that I have a tough time putting my head around. So if we look at the daily production, which is really all that really matters, it's how much milk is we making. It doesn't matter how many cows we have and how much milk we make per cow. It's just how much goes out the door every day. This was right on top of what I'd call our seasonal adjusted number. Now, yes, we are down a little bit from last year, but we're probably pretty close to where we were 2 years ago. So always that begs the question, was last year a little higher than it should have been? Going into that, we had the federal milk marketing data, and I thought that production month over month would be flat. Now, historically, USDA is up about 1.5%. And so where we ended up is actually up 1.4%. So it came in exactly where we thought it would be. A typical number, would be 625. We're at 624, and that's 1.4% above last month. If we look at milk per cow, that came in exactly on top of the seasonal adjusted number. I was trying to put these numbers together ahead of time. I said, normally, we're going to pick up about a pound of milk in February, and how do we do this in such a way that the milk production doesn't look really strange? And so in fact what USDA did was manipulate cow numbers a little bit. So when I look at all of this, what I come up with is, given last month's data, to me there were no surprises in this report. It came in at 1.5% month over month. Milk production per cow was exactly where we expected it to be. Total production was exactly where we expected it to be. And if it is seen as, down, that wasn't the difference between January and February. That was the difference like 6 months ago. So you always have to ask the question, if you're looking at something and it's down and you're doing year over year, is that just a recent thing or is that a historical kind of number? All right, so we've got the National Dairy Sales Report and advanced prices that also came out today. We're going to have the dairy slaughter numbers tomorrow, so that's going to give us a little bit of indication of what's going on. It will also begin to tie out this issue in the panhandle of Texas. If we're not seeing significant more cows slaughtered, in Region 6, then that's going to give us kind of an idea of what's going on down there. And then we're going to get the upper Midwest spot milk price.